There is no doubt that Saddam Hussein now has weapons of mass destruction.
My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
Ever wondered how a kid from a tiny village became one of the world's most feared dictators? Saddam Hussein's story is wild, full of betrayal, power grabs, and chaos. You'll see why his name still sparks debate. Don't scroll away. This is a story you need to know. Let's jump in. All right, you're here, and that means you're curious about Saddam Hussein. He's known as a brutal leader. But how did he get there? Born in a small Iraqi village, his life was tough from the start. Yet, he climbed to power, ruled Iraq for decades, and fell in a dramatic way. This isn't just history. It's a story of ambition, violence, and consequences. Let's go back to where it all began. Early life. Saddam was born April 28, 1937, near Tikrit, Iraq. His early life was rough. His dad died before he was born, and his mom was so heartbroken she didn't want him. She even tried to end her pregnancy. After birth, she gave him up. Saddam's uncle took him in, but when his mom remarried, he went back home. His stepdad was cruel, beating him often. Imagine being a kid, waking up to punches. That pain shaped Saddam. By age 10, he'd had enough and ran to Baghdad to live with his uncle again. Baghdad was a big change, streets, lights, and new ideas. His uncle, a strict Sunni Muslim and war veteran, taught him about politics and power. Those lessons stuck with Saddam. Getting into politics in Baghdad, Saddam saw a changing Iraq. After World War I, the British set up a king to rule, but many Iraqis hated it. They thought the king was just a British puppet. In 1941, some leaders tried to kick out the king with help from Nazi Germany, but the British won and put the king back. Saddam's uncle was part of this anti-British crowd, and he got Saddam into a school full of nationalist ideas. His uncle also wrote hateful pamphlets, like one saying Persians, Jews, and flies shouldn't exist. Saddam soaked up these extreme views. He tried studying law after high school, but dropped out at 20 to join the Ba'ath Party, a group his uncle loved. The Ba'ath Party wanted one Arab nation under their control. Saddam was all in. First big move. The Ba'ath Party was small but growing. In 1958, a coup called the July 14th Revolution kicked out the king and made Iraq a republic. The new leader, Abdul Karim Qasim, promised Arab unity, but some Ba'ath members, including Saddam, thought he wasn't doing enough. At 22, Saddam joined a hit squad to kill Qasim. It was a disaster. They ambushed Qasim's car, but shot at each other by mistake. Saddam got a bullet in the leg, and their driver was off playing games at a cafe. The plan failed, and Qasim escaped. Saddam had to run. He fled to Egypt, where he studied law again, but kept his Ba'ath Party ties. This flop showed Saddam was bold, but not yet smart about power. Back to Iraq. Saddam stayed in Egypt until 1963, when another coup, the Ramadan Revolution, killed Qasim. The Ba'ath Party took over, but only for 9 months, before another group pushed them out. Saddam came back to Iraq. He was seen as a guy good for fighting, not leading. But in 1968, another coup changed everything. This one was led by Ahmed Hassan al-Bakr, Saddam's distant relative. Al-Bakr liked Saddam's loyalty and toughness. He made Saddam head of security. This was huge. Saddam learned how to control people, scare enemies, and stop coups. He was getting closer to the top, and he loved it. Rising star. As head of security, Saddam got creative, too creative. He didn't just guard al-Bakr, He built a loyal crew from his hometown. These guys were tough, not book smart, and Saddam gave them cars and cash to keep them loyal. He also got into torture, coming up with brutal ways to scare or silence enemies. Unlike other leaders who stayed clean, Saddam did the dirty work himself. He loved the power. His skills made him stand out, and soon he was vice president of the Ba'ath Party. Just one step from the top. Saddam was patient, though. He knew how to wait. He started whispering rumors that al-Bakr was sick, setting the stage for his big move. Taking power. In July 1979, Saddam made his play. He walked into al-Bakr's office and told him to quit, or else. Al-Bakr resigned, and Saddam became president. To show everyone he was boss, he did something chilling. A week later, he called a big meeting with Ba'ath Party leaders. TV cameras were rolling. Saddam sat there, smoking a cigar, looking calm. A man read a fake confession, saying some leaders were plotting against him. As names were called, guards took people out, straight to firing squads. The room froze in fear. People started shouting loyalty to Saddam to save themselves. That moment showed Iraq. Saddam was in charge, and no one could stop him. War with Iran. In 1979, trouble brewed next door in Iran. A new leader, Ayatollah Khomeini, took over, pushing a revolution that scared Saddam. Most Iraqis were Shiite Muslims, like Khomeini, but Saddam and his crew were Sunni. He worried Iraqis might rebel. Plus, he hated Iran's leaders and thought he could crush them fast. In 1980, he invaded Iran with no warning, expecting a quick win. He was wrong. The war dragged on for 8 years, killing thousands on both sides. Saddam even used chemical weapons, stuff so bad even Hitler wouldn't touch it. The West, scared of Iran's revolution, backed Saddam anyway, but he gained nothing. No land, no victory, just a broke country and a lot of dead people. More trouble and defiance after the Iran War. Iraq was a mess. Saddam owed billions to countries like Kuwait and Saudi Arabia for loans. When Kuwait asked for their money back, Saddam didn't pay. He invaded them in 1990. Big mistake. The world, including the US, Russia, and even Arab countries, teamed up to kick him out. It was a quick loss for Saddam. Back home, Kurds in the north and other groups rebelled, but Saddam crushed them. He used chemical weapons again, killing thousands of Kurds in a town called Halabja. UN sanctions hit Iraq hard, blocking oil sales and food. But Saddam spent on palaces instead of people. The fall. By 2001, the world was done with Saddam. After 9/11, rumors spread that he was linked to terrorists. People said he had secret weapons, and he wouldn't let inspectors check properly. In 2003, a US-led coalition invaded Iraq. Saddam's statues fell, and his army crumbled. He went into hiding, found months later in a tiny hole near his hometown.
الحكم على المدان صدام حسين المجيد بالإعدام شنقا حتى الموت لارتكاب قتل عمد كجريمة ضد الإنسانية وفق المادة 12 أولا أليف بدلالة المادة 12.
In 2006, he was tried for war crimes and crimes against humanity. Guilty. At his execution, he stayed defiant, refusing his last meal and shouting until the end. The hangman didn't let him finish. Saddam was gone, but his story, full of power, cruelty, and chaos, lives on. What do you think? Did he get what he deserved? Share your thoughts and check out our other videos on history's big names.